Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there is a post by ODE which posted yesterday in this group, ex-Muslim versus Muslim. If Allah is God, why will He hate the one who called himself Malik al-Malik on Judgment Day? Now the question is, did Jesus ever call himself King of Kings? Or King Nebuchadnezzar ever called himself King of Kings? Both never called himself King of Kings. So this King of Kings could be referred to someone else. Okay, this King of Kings is not Jesus or King Nebuchadnezzar. This King of Kings who called himself King of Kings, Malik al-Malik on Judgment Day. That's why Allah hate this guy, because he was not commissioned to call himself King of Kings. Unlike King Nebuchadnezzar, let me show you. This is in Daniel 2 verse 37. Thou, O King, are a King of Kings. See, Daniel comfort this King Nebuchadnezzar as a King of Kings, for the God of heaven had given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And then there was also another King of Kings, as was comfort to by John of Patmos. Okay, but none of them actually call himself King of Kings. It's only Daniel comfort to King Nebuchadnezzar as a King of Kings, and here you find John of Patmos comfort to the Lamb, whoever is the Lamb. But of course the Christian will say the Lamb is Jesus Christ. And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Okay, let's go to the real topic of discussion here. So if Allah is God, why will he hate the one who called himself? See, the keyword is the one that called himself King of Kings. So if Allah inspired Daniel to say King Nebuchadnezzar as a King of Kings, and then Allah also inspired John of Patmos to say that Jesus was the King of Kings, these two are different from this one. Now we don't know who is this one who called himself King of Kings. So that's why Allah hate this unknown guy. This is the unknown guy. We already know Jesus as the King of Kings, as comfort to by Allah supposedly, and King Nebuchadnezzar as comfort to by Daniel. Okay, so Daniel comfort King Nebuchadnezzar as the King of Kings. John of Patmos comfort Jesus as the King of Kings. But this is a different one. He called himself King of Kings. So I hope, Christian, if you have the lack of knowledge, please don't dive into the world of mystery. If you cannot swim, don't swim into deep waters. Okay, but never mind. So I have already expressed in the beginning that Allah hate the one who called himself King of Kings, and we don't know who is this unknown King of Kings other than the one that was comfort to by Daniel and John of Patmos. So I have set my precedence. Okay, now let's see the answer. Anyone can answer that. Malik equal king in Arabic. Malik al-Malik, King of Kings. Who is the King of Kings? Only God Hashem can hold that title true. only God can hold the title King of Kings. But if he would like to confer the title to Nebuchadnezzar and Jesus, then that is not our business. A man with hubris in his heart, thinking that he is above others, are despised by God. Is pride not a sin? So, from this statement by this guy, by Greenberg, not Goldberg, he confirmed that it could be Satan himself he called himself as a King of Kings. Remember, Satan like to what? Remember in Isaiah 14:14, he like to climb up to heaven and be like God. Remember? So that's why Allah hate this Satan, because he called himself King of Kings, because he wanted to be like God. Now, do you get it, Mr. Odihi? So, never mind. Odihi said Jesus Christ is the King of Kings, Revelation 17:14, 19, 13. So this I can excuse him for his lack of or heresy or blasphemy, and that by itself carries a big sin. You will be roasted in hell. So Mr. Odihi Greenberg said he is not, Jesus is not. Okay, Jesus is the King of Kings as per John of Patmos, and then King Nebuchadnezzar is also a King of Kings. So we have two Kings of Kings that we know of. Okay, but this the one that Allah hate is Satan, is Lucifer himself, because he wanted to be God. He want to be the King of Kings. Okay. Now at least I have settled 90% of it. But this Odihi insisted that Jesus is the King of Kings. Let's see, who is Malik al-Malik if not Allah? You always post plurality, I mean nonsense. See, this guy, out of his innocence, he said Al-Malik is Jesus Christ, but he forgot that King Nebuchadnezzar was also the King of Kings, and he also didn't read Isaiah 14:14. I think it's Isaiah 14:14. Is the Satan himself like to be the King of Kings, and then Satan called himself the King of Kings. So then I don't need to go through all this, because I have basically answered. Okay, so basically Christian, no matter what you wish that Jesus is the King of Kings, the one that is in this topic is actually okay. I don't want to go through all this, because out of ignorance, out of lack of knowledge, out of whatever the Christian are, they say something but they don't really understand what they are talking. I have just glanced through all, and I think I make this video short. Okay, for those Christians who think that Allah hate Jesus for being the King of Kings, you forgot that in Isaiah, Satan himself called himself King of Kings, because he wanted to be like God. He want to set his throne at the cloud, so he became the King of Kings. So in this statement, Allah really hates Satan, for Satan called himself King of Kings. So Christian, please listen up and listen good. Okay, thank you very much.